I'm here with Phoenix Coyotes captain Shane Doan. Shane, you guys made it to the Western Conference Finals this season, a market that was starved for that type of success. Talk to me about not only what that means to you as a player to get to the Western Conference Finals, but for that whole market down in Phoenix.
Well, I agree. I think it was vital for the market to have success to really get behind it. And it's been very slim. It's been hard being a Coyotes fan for a lot of years. And finally giving them something to get behind and get excited about and make them excited to be a fan of the club and the organization. For me personally, it was so much fun. We enjoyed it so much. It was so disappointing when it ended because you get closer and instead of feeling like you accomplished something, you're just more disappointed in the fact that you're closer than you've ever been and you never won it. But at the same time, I loved it, had a great time, and really enjoyed it, and it's good for the whole city.
Shane, you guys had a vicious battle in the Western Conference Finals with the Los Angeles Kings. Nobody expected them to be in the conference finals, let's be honest. What impressed you the most about their run?
You know what? The contributions from everybody. And you recognize how great some of their players played individually, but they got contributions from so many different guys. And you look at what Nolan and King did, two guys that came up from the minors and stepped in and played such big roles for them. And you look at Voyanov, the defenseman that came up from the minors. Those three guys coming in from the minors and stepping up and playing big minutes and doing so well for them was something that was very impressive as a player to watch.
Dave Tippett, your head coach, how does he motivate you guys?
You know what, he's a great coach. And it sounds funny, and you always try to say, well, what makes a good coach? And it's hard to put your finger on it, but I think Tip reads his players so well. He does an incredible job of knowing when to encourage you and tell you, to keep going, and when to kind of come in there a little harder and tell you, wake up and you have to be better. And that's I think, the reading of his players and what makes him so successful. And he knows what to do, what buttons to push, and when to do it. And it's hard to explain, but when you see it happening, you know that he's just incredible.
Here with Phoenix Coyotes captain Shane Doan. Shane, what's the most intimidating, loudest environment you've ever had to go into and play in front of?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I know L.A. It was a lot of fun in the conference finals in L.A. They get the flags flying and the crowd is pretty excited and it was going pretty loud. Going into Chicago and Nashville, those two, any team in the playoffs, the buildings are loud and intense and fun. And I think those three cities for me this year, all of a sudden they stand out because you played the playoff series against them. But I'd probably have to say LA.
We've got to all eat, right? Yeah. So what's your typical pregame meal?
I'm pretty simple. I like my pasta and I like my salad, maybe a little chicken parm, not too much, but a little bit, and maybe some salmon. Depends on if you play back to back, you try to mix up the chicken parm and salmon.
We're in the off season right now. What's a typical Shane Doan workout like?
Well, for me, I've kind of done the same thing with guy up in Kamloops, Greg Kazoris, and some young kids that are going to be in the NHL in probably a few years, and we have a lot of fun. We do some sprints on the ground, we do some sprints on the track, and you do a bunch of them, and then we usually try to play a sport of some sort, either soccer or football or some frisbee, and then you go up to the gym and lift. And I think by playing the sport, you get your cardio in and you have a good time, and it breaks up the day, and it makes it a lot of fun.
Shane, rumor has it you're a big fantasy baseball guy.
Yes, I am.
How's your team looking?
We're okay, but we got a little long in the tooth, so we're kind of having to revamp. It's a keeper league, and I'm looking for some young blood to kind of get my team was dominating for a few years there, but we've run into the injury bug because we're getting a little old. So as a good general manager, I got to go out there and find some young guys. Got to get my scouting staff going a little bit.
You're the GM. Who's the most dominating player on Shane Doan's fantasy baseball team?
Oh, well, I got Prince Fielder, and so he helps a lot.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is. He's been good. He hasn't been as good as we expected him to be, but we expect him to have a great summer for us. But I'm really excited. I got Bryce Harper, and so I'm really excited about the future for my outfield. And I got a couple of young pitchers. You got the Trevor Bauer in Arizona, so he's going to be a guy that we're going to really rely on as we move forward as an organization.
Shane, very nice talking to you, man. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.